Okay, I didn't expect that. Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm checking out a brand new plugin that just dropped, and the reason why I'm making this video is because this plugin is an emulation of the API 2500 compressor. I absolutely love that compressor. I have the real thing here in the studio. So today I'm going to check out this plugin, see how it sounds, and I'm also going to compare it with the real API 2500 Plus. Let's get started. The plugin we're going to talk about today is the Lindell SBC. It's an API 2500 emulation, and for me this was quite a coincidence because I just released a video comparing the two monster legendary compressors, the SSL G series compressor and the API 2500 Plus. If you haven't watched that video, I'm going to link it right here. I suggest you watch it. And for me, the API sound is really important. I really love the API sound. And like I've said on my Black Box HG2 video, I'm very keen on finding plugins that emulate hardware that I own very well so I can have more instances of this processing. And that's why I wanted to check this plugin with you today. I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't even tried it yet. This is the first time I'm going to listen to it, so we're going to check it together, which is not something that I usually do. I don't like this, okay, let's try it straight away approach. But in this case, I didn't have any time, so I'm going to test it together with you today. The only thing that I've done is I've run a test tone so that I can calibrate the Lindell SBC with my own 2500 Plus compressor, and I've set the SBC to -12 dBFS, and this matches my 2500 Plus. So without any further ado, let's start using it on the master bus. So let's have a listen. First, I'm going to set it to the auto gain function, auto makeup, which is what the API 2500 does. And I actually love this feature. In my opinion, if you've done your gain staging right, you can leave this on. Most of the times I leave it on unless I want to do some really, really special gain staging. So let's have a listen. Okay, before some people come with pitchforks and torches and start, hating me for not doing the manual gain, I'm gonna do this because obviously this makes things louder. So let's try this one. For me, API is punch, and this immediately gives me this impression. So I'm going to do some extreme settings now. Okay, definitely, it makes the track sound more groovy. It brings out all the rhythmic elements. I love this thing about the API, and up to this point, it sounds really good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to alternate from the plugin. So this is on, this is bypass, and the actual hardware, which is my hardware insert here in Cubase, bypass enabled.
I hope you
Okay, this is quite good, I have to admit. Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm checking this plugin today, first time with you. And I'm impressed, I have to admit, this is a very, very good emulation of the real thing. And both of them, have a listen. This is what I love about the API. Check out the snare and the punch that it gives to the snare, right? You know, both of them give the snare such an amazing punch, and it really helps with the groove. The most important thing is not to think about the punch or attack and all these things. This is great, you need to have the background, but the most important thing is, what does the song need? And for this kind of song, you know, the drums have the groove, they have the rhythm. We want to enhance that kind of dancey element, you know? So a compressor can actually make you dance or not. Very, very cool. Now let's start on some drums. I'm going to start with bypass, and let's dial in some settings. By the way, if you're enjoying my videos and you want to support the channel, there's a new way to do this. YouTube just told me about this. It's the super thanks button. You can use this button to support what I do. This video is not sponsored, okay? Let's move on. Okay, let's try the hardware. I'm going to replicate the settings very quickly. Punch. Yeah, both of them do the same thing. Lots of punch. It's a relatively soft snare sound, but you know, these compressors gives you a lot of aggression. So I love that. I have to say, they sound pretty similar. Hardware. Okay, they sound pretty similar. Let's see what they do in very extreme settings, right? So I'm going to go all the way down with the threshold. I'm going to go for the shortest attack time, the shortest release time, infinite ratio. And by the way, I like that there is a noise emulation here on the SBC, so you can turn it on and off, which I really appreciate. So there's also oversampling in this plugin. So let's try and go for 8 times oversampling and see how it sounds. Let's go for these extreme settings. I mean, okay, plugin, hardware. I mean, it does the click. It does that very characteristic click, you know? This very, very small portion of the attack, it just goes through. The SBC does that. So I like that a lot. It's very, very fast. And I mean, let me know in the comments down below. Can you hear a difference? Let me know. Some things that are not there on the original and are very welcome additions, in my opinion, is this total harmonic distortion control here. So apparently when you have this at 0, this is exactly how it works on the actual hardware unit. This is what they modeled, but you can add more or less. So let's try that, because now we have a very aggressive compression setting, and I think this is going to give us a very good indication of what this thing can do. Okay, this is pretty cool. I like that. This adds an extra flavor that you can't really do on the original. The other things that we have here on the SBC is a sidechain high-pass filter. So this takes away the low end out of the compressor detection circuit. So let's try this and see what it does. Yeah. Okay, this opens up the sound quite a bit. I mean, the API 2500 already has the thrush controls that, in my opinion, make it so special. Let's try and compare these two things, and let's see if they actually react in a different way. Woo! Yeah, see? So when you go loud, you know, we don't get so much pumping, but when you go off, you know what? I want to try this on the hardware as well. This is interesting. Yeah, right here, I can hear a more pronounced difference, especially in the recovery of the compressor. To be honest with you, I can't argue with that. Both of these sounds are super usable, and you can get really creative with both of these sounds. I mean, but there is a difference here. Yeah, it's the envelope. It sounds like the hardware has a little bit more of a gentle slope. It goes like, you know? It sounds a little bit different the way it breathes and it pumps. Now, another thing that we have here is the mix knob, which is the wet-dry control on the API 2500. On the actual hardware, on the Plus, you also have a parallel option, which, as far as I can see, we don't find here, which is interesting. That would be a nice thing to have. But, you know, this is great. You have the mix here, so you can blend a super compressed signal like this with the original. I mean, and that's what I use the API for all the time. Now, another thing that is not on the original, and it's very interesting, it's this Nuke button right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to activate that. That's not on the original, so I can't replicate it there. But let's see how it sounds. Okay. I mean, I could probably do it with some aggressive gain staging on the hardware, but this is extremely useful. This is extremely useful. This is a nice touch. Well done. That's a nice touch. I like that. Let me bring down the threshold a little bit and let's see how it sounds. Okay, I have to say, I wish this was on the original. This is quite good. This is very, very useful. I mean, you can get this super, super roomy sound out of your drums. And you know, with all the other shape controls with the tone, I think you can get a lot of different sounds out of this. This is pretty impressive. Let's try this on bass. It gives this thump to the bass. Let me try the other thrust settings. Let's go for normal, off. Okay, I didn't expect that. That's amazing. Wow. You know, some people say I'm very enthusiastic. You have to understand that this is what I do for a living and this is what really makes me excited. So this is a genuine reaction. I didn't know this was gonna happen. I'm completely honest. This is amazing. Of course, I wouldn't use this on its own. It adds so much thump to the bass. Again, it adds groove, you know. I mean, it made the bass more funky. It gave more funk to the bass, you know. It's an okay bass line, you know, but this actually added some really nice dynamics to it, so you can manipulate the dynamics really nicely. I like what the Nuke thing does. This is probably the best emulation of the API 2500 I've ever heard in the box. It gives you this punch, the thump, and it also has this cool trick that you can do on the API where you can bypass the compressor, but you don't bypass the signal going through the electronics and the transformers, so you still get the amazing sound of the API 2500 electronics without the compression circuit. Full disclosure, I have to say that again because I get comments like, oh, you know, this company paid you to say this. Every time a company has paid me for my content, I always disclose it at the beginning of the video. And even if they do, they will never be able to control what I'm saying. Because if I don't like a plugin, chances are I'm not going to spend time and make a video about this, okay? So in this case, no money changes hands. Plugin Alliance didn't pay me to say any of this. I don't even have affiliate links down below. So if you buy this, I don't get anything. So honestly, It's up to you. But if you ask my honest opinion, an opinion that I would say to a friend, if you can't afford the API 2500, get this plugin. It's really amazing. And if you do have one, this would be the one that I would use for multiple instances inside Cubase, inside my DAW. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to watch the video where I compare the SSL and the API, the hardware units, just released. So if you like this video and you found it useful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, all the good stuff. There's also a super thank button that YouTube has added if you want to support the channel. That's a great way to do this. Or you can check out my modern 80s drum kit, my Apollo library for Pad Shop, and the Claps Vault instruments that I've created. If you like them and pick them up, you're also supporting what I do. So I thank you in advance. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you on the next one.